What if the mind had a lens beyond logic? An eye that doesn't just see the world, but pierces it through illusion, through emotion, through time. Across cultures, it's called the third eye. Ajna, the eye of Horus, the pineal gateway. But beyond the mysticism lies something more intimate, a power of perception that lives inside each of us. Today, we explore the psychological powers of the third eye, its effects, its risk, and its revelations, as well as how inner vision transforms this outer reality. In yogic tradition, the third eye is the Ajna Chakra. Positioned between the brows, it governs intuition, insight, and inner knowing. It's the seat of the subtle mind, the place where thought becomes vision, where symbols speak louder than words. In Egyptian myth, it's the eye of Horus, the symbol of protection, healing, and divine perception. In esoteric circles, it's linked to the pineal gland, a tiny structure deep in the brain, long thought to be the gateway to altered states and spiritual awareness. But what does this mean psychologically? Carl Jung spoke of active imagination, a process of engaging the unconscious through symbols, dreams, and inner dialogue. The third eye, in this sense, is not mystical, it's rather mythic. It's the part of us that sees the meaning within chaos, the patterns in emotion, and the truth in metaphor. It's intuition, not as a vague feeling, but as a fast, emotionally charged cognition, a knowing that precedes logic. When the third eye opens, whether through meditation, trauma, or spontaneous insight, the world begins to shimmer. You may experience archetypal visions, images and symbols that feel ancient and personal. You might close your eyes and see the face of an old, wise woman, or the reoccurring image of a labyrinth, offering a truth that logic alone could never explain. Heightened empathy, sensing others' emotions before they even speak. You may walk into a room and feel the quiet sadness of a friend, not through their words, but as a tangible weight in the air. Time distortion, moments that stretch or collapse, revealing hidden rhythms. During a difficult conversation, an entire minute might feel like an hour, offering you the space to see the underlying dynamics at play, or a sudden realization might bring a past memory and a future possibility into a single revelatory instant. Another thing will happen is precognition, flashes of future possibility, not as a rigid prediction, but as a sense of what's coming. You might get a spontaneous flash of a job interview going well, not as a guarantee of success, but as a feeling of potential that gives you the courage to pursue it. Energy sensitivity. Feeling the emotional charge of spaces, people, or even woods. You might walk into an old building and feel the history of the place, a lingering calm, or a faint trace of a past conflict, as if the walls themselves are holding in a story. Psychologically, these are altered states. The brain shifts into theta or gamma waves. The unconscious rises, and perception becomes porous. You're not just seeing, you're receiving. Not just thinking, you're feeling meaning. This is the realm of the seer, the oracle, or the visionary. But with great vision comes great distortion. The third eye is not a toy, it's a tool. And like any tool, it can wound as well as heal. Overactivation can lead to paranoia, the shadow side of seeing patterns. The third eye unchecked can see a web of connections where none exist. A gentle intuition about someone's feelings can warp into a paranoid conviction that they are conspiring against you. Delusion, the shadow side of intuition. You may mistake a fleeting vision for absolute, unchangeable truth. A symbolic dream about a relationship ending is treated not as a metaphor for change, but as a literal prophecy that must be fulfilled. This is a delusion state. Next is spiritual bypassing, the shadow side of transcendence. It's using mystical practices to escape the messy, painful reality of human life. Rather than facing a difficult emotion or a conversation you've been avoiding, you use hours of meditation to try and rise above it. This can leave the core issue unintegrated. This can turn into actually creating an even greater milestone due to the fear and avoidance. Ego inflation, the shadow side of revelation. You can begin to believe your insights make you superior, special, or exempt from an ordinary human experience. Your intuitive flashes aren't seen as gifts of perception, but as proof that you are more enlightened or awake than those around you. And this can cause you to become self-indulged. This is where we speak about attachment to self. This is where we try to employ non-duality, so self dissolves, creating expansion for greater growth. Psychologically, this is projection, the unconscious spilling into the conscious without integration. The visionary becomes the mad genius. The prophet becomes the zealot. That's why balance is essential. The third eye must be tempered by the heart, compassion, and grounded in the root, embodiment. Vision without love is cruelty. Insight without grounding is chaos. So how do we awaken the third eye safely and wisely? Here are the practices that blend spiritual depth with some psychological clarity, so it can guide you with a more logical sense, as well as keeping its spiritual foundations for greater access. Ajna meditation. Focus between the brows. Visualize that indigo light. Breathe into insight. Let your mind become clear. This will be achieved with mindful practicing. Dream journaling. Record symbols, emotions, patterns. Your unconscious speaks nightly. Listen to it. Learn from it. Active imagination. Dialogue with inner figures. Explore mythic landscapes. This is where you take the time and learn from different areas. Explore all truths to come to your true understanding. Symbolic visualization. You can create mandalas, draw art, use the channel intuitive art. All these things to help guide and bring focus, really, so that you can finally assess and work with these thoughts. Another thing you can do is somatic grounding. Stay connected to the body. Vision must be embodied. These practices don't just open the third eye. They refine it, sharpen it, and align it with the soul. Now, before we close, let's take a moment. Let's not just listen to these words. Let's embody them. Find a comfortable posture, whether you're seated or walking. Gently close your eyes or soften your gaze. Bring your attention to the subtle flow of your breath. Now, without strain, direct your inner focus to the space between your eyebrows, to your Ajna. Just a gentle touch of awareness here. Imagine that with every inhale, you are drawing a soft glow energy into the center. And with every exhale, a gentle clarity spreads through your mind. This is your inner vision, not forcing a picture, but simply receiving a sense of knowing. Now gently release your focus from that space. Bring your awareness back down to your heart. Feel its steady rhythm. And feel your body grounded and present in the space around you. Remember, this balance, vision guided by the heart and grounded in the body, this is the essence of a conscious practice. The third eye doesn't just see, it reveals. It's not about escaping reality, but perceiving it much more deeply. To open it is to invite mystery, to see the world as a symbol, the self as a story, and life as a living myth. So ask yourself, what are you really seeing? And what's asking to be seen? Until next time, stay curious, stay grounded, and keep your inner eye open. Practice and grow the formless guide within. This is your Formless Guide, signing off.